Yeah, no problem. We work together.
All right, Coach, if you don't care, open with a statement, then we'll go to questions.
Really good day. Today's goal was to kind of really test the back end of the roster, the young guys, more the 2s and the 3s, the 1As. And I thought we did a really good job of that. A lot of things showed up that we could teach from. Got some situational work in. We made the quarterbacks live today just to kind of see, what that next group of quarterbacks looks like. It's a little bit different when you know you're not going to get hit and the guy can run by you. Same thing for the defense. You practice all spring and all summer not hitting the quarterback, stay off the quarterback, and then it's hard to kind of get in the game and actually get to the quarterback and get him on the ground. So I thought it was really good. Thought we got some good situational work in towards the back end. Some great situations came up in game. Some things that coaches can learn from, players. So overall, really good. Obviously, the best thing is we came out healthy. That's always, as you get into the deeper part of spring, making sure that we got enough guys to go into the summer with. So overall, really good, really good.
Do you use next week as sort of like a transition into getting ready for what a normal game day would be with your preparation?
No, for us, next week is going to be all the oddball adjustments that we may see during the season. We'll go look at who we play and kind of some of the things they do that challenge us in all three phases and kind of give our guys a little bit of exposure of how we would play, certain formations, certain plays, not necessarily, hey, this is X, Y, and Z team, but hey, here is unbalanced. Here is, 4 open, 5 open. Here is, odd front on defense, or here's a certain blitz, special teams, here's certain formation with twist and coverage and those type of things. That way we can kind of get some stuff on film to kind of talk about it going into the summer. And when we get into the summer, we take kind of a week and kind of establish each opponent and kind of give a little early preview of them. So next week will give us a chance to work on some of the, I won't say hard things, but different things that you may not see every day.
Sticking with next week, what can fans kind of expect? What guys will they see out on the field? What's kind of the structure of the schedule for that?
Yeah, we're going to play a full game. I think our administration has done a really good job of making this a full weekend. One of the goals when I first got here was to make the spring game weekend, the biggest weekend of the year because it's kind of the kickoff to the football season. And I think we've done that. We've got an event Friday, with the cornhole event that Chad Pennington and our staff are putting on, which will be really good for our fans. And then Saturday, we've got multiple games with different sports and capping off with the spring game. So our goal is to make this the biggest weekend of the year to kind of let everybody kick off the year together. Not just about the spring football game, but just about spring sports in general. And I think we've kind of got a good plan to do that. So I'm hoping a lot of people get out. I'm hoping people drive in from all over the country. When we start to really take the next step as a community and a true fan base, players, teams, not just football teams, but softball, all of the teams, that's when we'll start to progress. And that's where we're at, and I think this weekend will be a good start.
As far as the game itself, what are you gonna? Is it gonna be live from the jump?
Yeah, we'll play a full game. It'll give us an opportunity to go through our pregame routine, our sideline operation. So it'll be a full game. We will adjust some things clockwise just because we don't want to have too many guys playing too many reps, but it'll be a full, green team. It'll be black. The reason that we do that is not that we're trying to change the colors of black. We give our seniors the game jerseys that we wear in the bowl game. So we don't always have another set of jerseys. So yes, it's the green and white game, but we'll be wearing black and whatever jerseys we have left. So I know that's become a little bit of a, why do they wear black? Well, that's why. So anybody who wants to donate so that we can buy enough jerseys to have 2 sets of everything, call the football office and we will gladly take that donation. But that's why we do that. It's not to try to change colors. We give our jerseys, the bowl jerseys, we give them to the players as a gift. And then we order new jerseys, which won't come in until August. So, but it'll be a full game, 2 sidelines, 2 teams, and we'll go at it.
Coach, you mentioned those live periods and how it can benefit the quarterbacks seeing things at full speed, but how can that help the defense as well getting off to finish some of those plays?
Yeah, I think so, because in practice, I blow the whistle and they say, I would have sacked him, or, he gets outside the pocket and we kind of blow the whistle not to have, a catastrophe, people falling all over each other. But really, it allows the back end to stay in coverage. It allows the D-line to rush with some rush discipline. When you get the opportunity as a quarterback to step up and take off, it changes things. So I think holistically, obviously you don't want to do it every day because you don't want the pounding on that position. But we try to do it a couple times in the spring just so we can teach off of going into the summer, teach off of in our meetings on Monday, teach off of for our quarterbacks in the meeting on Monday. Hey, you got to feel the rush. You can't see it. hey, you got to work to an open window. Receivers, you got to stay alive when he gets out of the pocket. All those things that show up on game day that you really don't get a chance to rep live in practice every day.
Coach, will we see all the quarterbacks next week in the spring game, or is the plan just going to go one?
Yeah, no, we'll play them all. Everybody on the team plays every rep, every practice. You know, everybody didn't get the same amount of reps, but everybody plays because, again, I don't think you can truly evaluate the overall progress unless you're consistently playing guys. So we try to make it even. I can't, guarantee that everybody will have, 22 snaps, but you'll get a series, you'll get a series, you'll get a series. Next guy up, you'll get a series, you'll get a series, you'll get a series. And what we try to do is balance it out, so everybody kind of has the same amount of reps. And then we try to kind of move the quarterbacks around so they all don't have the same receivers, right? Because the ones receivers are a little bit different than, some of the younger guys. So we try to move it around so we can take out all of the gray area in our, evaluation and let everybody play kind of evenly, if that makes sense.
Coach, we're getting ready to interview Toby Payne. Just how have you seen him improve? It's year 2 for him. Just how has he grown?
Yeah, it's that room probably has been, the most mature room that we've had. They've had 4 coaches in a year. They started out with Coach Legg. We moved Coach Legg over. He got Dalton. Dalton did a great job. Coach Gonzalez came in, did a great job. He got another opportunity. Coach Shea has come in. And they've kind of just kept showing up. And Toby's probably the leader in that group. He probably doesn't talk as much as a leader would, but he comes out to work every day with his hard hat. I think it's important to him to be here. I think it means something to him. I think he plays with a little extra pride just because this is home. He's really grown athletically. He's starting to understand the run game and the pass game now. You can start to see him kind of do some things on the fly that an experienced tight end does. Right now, the biggest thing is just working on consistency, right? Understanding a different front, a different alignment, kind of anticipating some movements up front. But overall, I think he's progressed really well.
And how has Keyshawn Brown adapted to you guys?
Yeah, it's adapt or die mentality here. So it's like the dinosaurs. Either you adapt to how we do things or, you don't make it. But he's come in, and he's embraced what we do, and he has not balked at or questioned why we do certain things. I think our leadership on the team, our culture on the team speaks a lot. I think Eli Neal has done a really good job of kind of, I hate to say taking him under his wing because he's not really younger than him, but kind of bringing him along and teaching him, hey, this is how we practice, this is how we study, and ultimately it's helped him kind of expedite his progress. He's probably one of our best open pass rushers. He does a really good job of skinning surface and understanding the angles. He runs really well. We're playing him at multiple spots right now, so we're trying to confuse him competitively, so he's got to think. But he's done a really good job. I'm impressed with the 12 or so practices that we've had. He's flashed a couple times in some scrimmage situations. You can tell he's played the game of college football before, and that's the kind of leadership we're going to need to replace Beauplan and Charlie Gray, those kind of guys. When they have that kind of production year after year after year, replacing them sometimes is hard. So having a guy that's played will help do that.
Talked a lot about offense and defense, but how's that special teams room coming along? I know there were some questions coming into camp about consistency and such. But
yeah, really good. The biggest thing is right now, Reese, he had a little back issue towards the back end of the year, which is typical because it's freshman who's now kicking off multiple times, kicking field goals multiple times coming out of high school. He's done a phenomenal job this offseason to kind of strengthen his core. He's been more consistent. Our punting situation with McConnell, he's been more consistent, and we've kind of separated. We were kind of trying to let everybody do everything, right, and kind of trying to see who was the best at it. But we've kind of separated and just kept them in their lanes. We got a lot of young guys coming in, this summer that are going to be able to compete. The thing with kickers and punters, man, it's like my golf game, man. You can go out one day and you're ready to make a tour. Like, I'm ready to call Tiger and Roy. And then some days it's like, why did I even come out here today? And that's the thing of, just understanding that consistency level. But they've been a lot more consistent than they were last year at this point. I think the biggest thing is, I tell the offense all the time, we can say the kickers are this or that, but you don't have to send them out there for anything but a kickoff and extra point. So you don't necessarily have to send them out there for a 68-yard field goal. And I think what's started to happen is we understand now what their ability is, so we've kept them in their lanes and they've been more consistent, if that makes sense.
Coach, spring transfer portal window opens up today. What's your strategy? You have 1 week of practice, but also trying to prepare for any movement after the spring game.
Yeah, I think Coach Kiffin said it best: "Come to the sit, we'll come to H-Town." We want the best and the best it's what we want, and that's where we are in today's game. I think we've got really good players on our team. We need more good players because obviously, there's going to be something that happens during the season, whether, a guy's injured, not hoping that happens, but the reality of it is somebody's going to get injured, somebody's going to get tired. So the more good players we can get, we'll take them. And we got an opportunity to really evaluate. And again, we're not just hoarding talent. We're making sure that we're stacking our positions so we got competition in depth. And I think, obviously we're going to see over the next couple of days a lot of kids go in, come to H-Town. I mean, the weather's beautiful. I mean, I think we're getting a beach volleyball team, so that means we're going to get a beach soon. I don't know what other better place to be, So, in my opinion, hopefully we've put out a good enough product consistently over the last few years that a lot of players see this as an opportunity.
I know today's not a game day atmosphere, but you had some recruits here. Talk about how valuable these kind of days are for young recruits to see how you guys operate.
Yeah, whenever you get a chance to get recruits on your campus, I think that's the biggest thing. You can call them, you can DM them, you can send them graphics, you can do all of that stuff, but getting them on your campus and getting to spend face-to-face time with them is huge. We had Greek Day today, which was great because, again, we're trying to connect the campus life and the students with, the players. Phenomenal crowd out here today for that. But again, I think, the recruits get to see, wow, the students are engaged, the football team's engaged, the community's great, and it makes it feel like home. And again, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make the recruits, their families more comfortable, and today's like today. Good. Thanks, guys. Hope you guys